Hello everyone, this is Kiv from Kiv Gaming, and today I've decided to bring you a tiny tutorial for the recording software that I use for my videos, and it's called Open Broadcaster software. So after you've decided to get the software from their website and you've installed the software on your computer, you'll get something like this. This is the install folder. Since I'm using a 64-bit operating system, I will go into the 64-bit folder, and here we'll start Open Broadcaster's software, and it looks like this. So the first thing you notice is the scenes and the sources here. Basically what scenes is the different windows or scenes that you will be recording. This allows you to change between different things, different games, whatever you want really. And the sources, that can be a number of different things. We'll get to that later. First, we will take a look at the general settings here. This here doesn't matter too much. You can create profiles that will save your settings, and then you can swap between different settings, whatever you want. Doesn't matter that much. These settings are also not really interesting, so we'll just pop into the encoding right away. So today we'll be doing a simple tutorial about getting a really nice 720p video through. So that means that this will be very important. Constant bitrate, it's probably gonna help. It's gonna make smoother videos for you, and it's gonna be more consistent than variable bitrate. So we're gonna go with constant bitrate, and we're just gonna leave that in. It's not really interesting for us anyway. We're gonna put the bitrate to 2000. That should be more than enough for a 720p stream or recording, whatever. We're gonna leave the audio settings. If you want a bit higher audio quality, you can change the bit rates here, go a bit higher. You can also change the codec here. And next we're gonna be popping into broadcast settings. So if you want to record, all you have to do is this, and then you specify a file path, which can be whatever you want. I generally use this. Or we can just do this. I have that. Videos. Here you can set a hotkey for when you want to start your recording and stop your recording. Just set it to something that's comfortable for you, that you'll remember, and it can be sometimes hard if you're using these to know if the stream is going or not whenever you're inside the game. But that's more or less just a something you'll have to live with, and once you do this more often, it's gonna be more apparent to you, and you're gonna be more comfortable with it. And let's just pop into video settings, and yes, I want to apply that. So here's the video adapter that you want to use. Basically, if you have your screen connected to your whatever graphics card, it will probably show up here, and just gonna be your primary display. Your base resolution, this is gonna be the same as your desktop resolution, or the same as your resolution that you're running in the game. Right now I'm running this resolution here, but since I want a 720p output, I will change this resolution downscale to 1.5. that means that we'll get a file in 720p. The filter is not really important. I've always run with this and it works really well for me. FPS 30, 45, 60, it's up to you. 30 is more than enough. It's gonna make for some good quality video, but if you really want to crank out that insane quality, you should aim for this to be 60. But this 30 is okay, no problem. The audio settings, for me, I'm going with default. You just select whatever, if you have a special mic or something like that, you just select it here. These settings are not that important. Here you can boost the sound level from your desktop. That's your default playback device. So, but these settings can cause some really bad static. So if you can, you should select volume controls elsewhere and leave these at 1. That's about it for the audio settings, and here we're going to go into advanced. You're probably wanting to use multi-threaded optimizations. It's pre-selected and you should just leave that there unless you have a really an older computer which have trouble with recording. You can try and disable this. And here we have the CPU presets. This is recommended to be very fast. You can gain some quality if you select a lower value here, but it's a very great CPU cost here. The amount of CPU power that you'll use is going to increase exponentially, and the results or the gains that you'll be seeing will be very slim. The keyframe interval here, it could be important. It depends on how much you want to edit. If you have too low keyframe intervals, it can be very hard to edit videos with precision. So if you want high precision editing, I would select this at least 1, maybe lower. And these settings can just be left for default. So now we're pretty much done with the settings for our video. And now we need to have a source. So let's bump up Diablo in the background here and just see what we can do and how easy it is to get this software to hook into your game. So we're going to rename this scene to Diablo 3. Very neat. Then we're going to add a source. And the source we're going to add is called Game Capture. This will be the main game component. And this auto hooks into most applications. You might need to hit refresh here and or look it up in the list here. You don't really need to worry about anything. I prefer to capture mouse cursor, but you can remove that if you want to. So now we have hooked into the main game and we can start previewing our video. This preview is not perfect and it's sometimes is laggy. Now I'm recording from one software. I am previewing my recording on this software and I'm having a game up, so the quality is less than desirable. And now I'm going to talk a bit more about how sources work. So say we want to add a logo or anything. We can just add an image here, call it logo or whatever. We browse the image and we press OK. But I haven't prepared a logo for us to use, so I'm going to use text instead. Sample text. And we're just going to go with this and we're going to enter the text. Test text for funds. Now we get some text here. That's really neat. And depending on how you do this, you can hide the text temporarily. You can edit this and move it around. We can also do depending on here, since this source is under this, that means that this source here will be put on top of the other. So if we add another text source and say something and something, we're going to put it a bit higher font size, and we're going to do that. So then I can edit here, and I can put this over. It's not very visible here. I wish I could make that into another color. Thought I could. Yeah, let's do red. So as we can see, it just goes over the other layer. What you can also do is you can swap the order here. So suddenly the white text is over the red text. It doesn't show very well here. Let's make it bold and 100 instead. And bold, 100 and bold. You can just see how this works. This means that you can put logos or whatever kind of things that you want in your video without having to edit it, and it's going to be in the same spot always. It's going to be flawless, no problem. And this is really the end of the tutorial. This should give you all the basics that you need to start recording your videos. You should always try and tweak around with the settings a bit and then see what happens and how you can improve yourself. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask those, and leave any feedback, comments below. Have fun recording!